In this very quick video, I want to give those of you who are interested in studying for version 2.6 of the exam a quick overview of the master Excel spreadsheet that I've provided in the Discord channel. Very quickly, I'm going to show you how you can filter this spreadsheet if you're unfamiliar with Excel. And if you're looking at getting a head start on version 2.6 of the exam, how you can interpret the different fields here in the spreadsheet so that you can start studying before I actually make all of the changes live on the evening of September 1st. The first thing I want to do is I want to look at the very top row here. We're looking at row number 1. And what I've done is I've categorized each lecture by the domain that it falls under, the lecture number, the title of the lecture, the action that I'm taking regarding this lecture, and the version of the exam that that lecture follows. And so we're going to use rows 2, 3, and 4 here as an example. You'll see these all belong to domain 1. These are the first 3 lectures of domain 1. Looking at the lecture number, you'll see that the 1 here is going to represent the domain. So these are all for domain 1. And then the second 2 digits correspond to the lecture number. And so if we scroll all the way down to the bottom of domain 1 right here, we'll see that the updated course includes 140 lectures. The lecture order that you see here is going to be very similar to what's live right now. But this final order that you see here in the spreadsheet is going to adhere to the next version of the course, version 2.6. Again, we have the title of the lecture, and then we have the action that's being taken. Now, for the first 3 here, in fact, not only for the first 3, but for the first 10 lectures, you'll see that the action being taken is none. And what this means is that these lectures are not being updated, that the content that is currently in this lecture will remain the same across the 2 versions. Now, that doesn't mean that the content regarding one of these topics is not updated. What it means is that I'm not updating this particular lecture. If there has been some addition or some update to one of these lecture topics, I may have included that in an additional lecture. And an example of that will be these 3 lectures here, lectures 12, 13, and 14 of domain number 1. You'll see that the current version of the course, 2.5.1, includes Internet Terminology, Part 1 and 2. And in order to update that, instead of re-filming these 2 lectures, I'm adding onto this Part 3. And so again, if you're looking in the action field here, you're going to see that for lecture 112 and 113, there are no updates to those lectures. Instead, what I'm doing right here is I'm adding lecture 114. And again, you come over here to version, you'll see that this version follows 2.6. Now, if you're interested in starting your studies now for version 2.6 of the exam, so I'm filming right now on August 18th. There are approximately 2 weeks before version 2.6 of the exam is live. If you want to get a head start on studying for version 2.6 and you want to know which of the lectures you can start studying now, then what you're going to do is you're going to come over to the action column. You want to click in the action column, and this is going to be the same for either Mac or Windows. At the very top of your screen, the top of the ribbon here, you want to click on Data. And once you're in Data, you want to come over to one of these icons here. I don't think this is the same in Windows, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort this column by alphabetical order. And so I'm going to hit this button right here. And you'll see I have all of the new lectures. Again, these are all of the lectures listed as add. These are all of the new lectures that are going to be added on the evening of September 1st. You'll see here correction. This should really be clarification. I'm just clarifying a couple of things there to get rid of any discrepancies. You'll see the delete section here. If you are studying ahead for version 2.6 of the exam, these are lectures that I'm deleting. And the content in these cases is either no longer necessary or is being heavily revised. So there is still a section on types of privacy attacks in version 2.6, but there have been so many changes to this content that I'm just completely redoing it. So you want to avoid these lectures. And again, you can find these lectures in these domains. And because these lectures don't exist in version 2.6 of the exam, there's not a lecture number, but this is the lecture title that you're going to look for in this domain. And again, just avoid that. Now, for what you can start studying right now, again, you're going to look for all of the lectures that have an action listed as none. And you can see all of these right here. So all of these lectures that are listed as none, there are no updates to these particular lectures. And as you can see, it's probably about half of the course. And again, it doesn't mean that the content for data breach notification laws hasn't updated. I may just be adding some of that updated content to a new lecture that we saw above. And these lectures that you see here with the action update next to them, these are lectures that I'm refilming or editing in order to provide additional content. So to bring these laws and regulations, these policies, etc., up to date with version 2.6 of the exam. And again, if you are not very familiar with Excel, instead of sorting the categories there based on alphabetical order, you can filter as well. If you click on Action and you go to this filter right here, once you click on that, it'll give you all of the different categories that you have an option to filter by. And again, let's say that I want to know which lectures I can begin studying right now. I'm going to select all, and I'm going to select just none. And once I do that, Excel has filtered these, and this is going to show me all of the lectures that are not being updated, not being re-recorded. And there they are. And so again, you're going to have somewhere around maybe 50, 60 lectures or so that you can already get started with. And on the evening of September 1st, once the new version of the exam is live, again, you're going to want to know which lectures are being added, which ones have been updated. I mean, in short, on September 2nd, when you wake up in the morning, everything there is up for grabs. But depending on how deeply you get into the material, you may want to reference this to confirm whether or not this is a new lecture, a corrected lecture, or a lecture that has been updated. So hopefully that proactively addresses any questions that you may have about using this Excel spreadsheet and getting a head start on version 2.6 of the exam. Of course, I'm available via Discord if you have any questions.